Back home for Game 5 when the VMI Cadets were presented with an offensive explosion. Over 600 yards offense for the Herd. Chris Parker with 3 touchdowns. Herd win 56-21. To Cullowhee, North Carolina for Western Carolina, a game more known for Chris Parker's record-breaking game. He passed several defenders that day and also passed the all-time Southern Conference rushing mark. Herd go 5-1, 42-3 the final. Everyone fired up for what was the Southern Conference Championship against Appalachian. Fourth quarter, Chris Parker with a rare fumble. Then Appy converts with a Scott Satterfield touchdown. Marshall loses for just the 3rd time at the stadium. 10-3 the final. The team flew south for Game 8. The Boneyard at the Citadel was nearly another loss for Marshall until the defense stepped up and Jermaine Swafford intercepted towards the end. Jim Donnan went home 21-19. Homecoming against ETSU, and Tim Martin stole the show. A 68-yard punt return. Herd won it 52-0. Game 10 at Paladin Stadium. The defense came up big again. B.J. Summers picked up the fumble and took it to the house. Herd come home 8-2 with a 31-6 win. Final regular season game for the seniors. Number 6 Marshall and number 7 Hofstra. Chad Pennington aired it out to Tim Martin, 57 yards. Marshall ends the regular season 9-2 with a 2-point win, 30-28. It was Thanksgiving weekend. Jackson State might have had Big Daddy Carson, but Marshall had some big defense. Scott Smythe picked up the backwards lateral, and Marshall advanced to the 2nd round, 38-8. A return visit for Northern Iowa, and Tim Martin assured everyone it would be an encore performance. 83 yards on the punt return, and it's on to the 5th straight trip to the semifinals, 41-24. Finally, the battle in the Bayou. Top-ranked McNeese met head-on with Marshall's defense, and Chad Pennington's best performance could not have come at a better time. Touchdown. The Herd's mission is almost complete, 25-13. You know, Marshall's trip's been one heck of a ride this season, but it's led by a freshman quarterback, Chad Pennington.
And when you talk about that freshman quarterback, Dave, consider that just a year ago, Pennington was at his high school prom, and that probably couldn't compare to what winning a national championship would be like.
You know, sometimes I wonder if this is real, and, you know, I can't believe it sometimes, but it is real. That's the fact, and then just got to go make it happen Saturday. It's just been a great experience for myself, and especially for this team. You know, we've gone through a lot, and then just be the, you know, the thing that cap off the season and make it the right way.
And a reminder that 13 Sports will bring more pregame coverage tomorrow morning. The team's on a mission, so are we. A live half-hour show as we bring you up to game time as Marshall's quest for a national championship continues.
Keith, we've got to step aside again here, but plenty more when we come back.
That's right, David. Since you and I never did very well in zoology, we must ask the question, how are you supposed to control a grizzly bear? Neither of us is a big game hunter, so I guess we'll have to ask the experts for some advice.
Plus some other expert advice, getting the most out of your cooler space. It's a story that no tailgater will want to miss. Jen, as we get you set for the national championship game tomorrow afternoon at noon. We've talked about the coaches, we've talked about the players, we've talked a little bit about the fans, but tailgating's awfully special, you know.
I'll tell you what, it is a tradition just like football is around here, Dave, and they've got some tailgaters who've been doing it an awfully long time. They've got some pretty good advice.
Doug Miller has the story.
Herd tailgaters are known for doing it all. Their menu goes way beyond your basic burgers and dogs. A bizarre concoction of munchies sprouts up outside the stadium each Saturday, and the best part, desserts on the field in the form of the opposition. But if you want to do it up right, you have to tailgate with the hardiest herd partier of them all, Barry Smith. He owns the End Zone van, a flamboyant dedication to the team he loves.
After I saw everybody tailgating the first year when the season opened up in '91 in the stadium, and everybody's tailgating, I said, man, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to try it. But I'm going to get something different. I'm going to get a van where you don't have to worry about spilling your pop or the beer. It gets too cold, everybody just pile in, get warm.
The outside features goal posts you just can't miss, and a mural with all kinds of famous people celebrating a Herd win.
All right. Little orphanage, her dog, Elvis.
And as you go inside the end zone van, it doesn't get any less green. Let's take a look. Barry's got it completely outfitted with AstroTurf and some old jerseys from Marshall standout players. But Barry's run into a little trouble lately, or maybe over it. Seems a grizzly bear got caught under his tires.
Feel sorry for Montana because that's going to be a long way home, and but somebody's got to go back. It might as well be them.
For Mission Countdown, I'm Doug Miller.
And, of course, we'll see plenty of tailgating tomorrow morning, and we'll tell you about that in our show at 11:30, Dave.
Some 30,000 tailgaters. We'll see about that tomorrow. Perhaps the most important thing for the tailgaters, fans, and players and coaches is what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. Meteorologist Dave Parker has a game day forecast for you.
Typical mid-December day for tomorrow. Herd fans and, of course, tailgaters can expect temperatures at game time in the upper 30s to around 40 under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Of course, with temperatures around 40 degrees, that'll feel like a Bahama cruise to the fans visiting from Montana. Now, with any big sporting event, the trivia surrounding the possible outcome of the game is as prevalent as the tailgating. This next minute or so will be no exception. Here's a look at the types of weather conditions both teams have faced in their 2 losses this season. For the Herd, it was a late summer day against NC State, upper 70s, clear skies, put a loss on the scorecard. Against Appy State, much cooler, temperatures in the mid-40s under partly cloudy skies, put another loss on the scorecard. Synopsis, no weather connection between their 2 losses. It's a different story for the boys from the Big Sky country. There was virtually no sky in their season's first loss to Washington State. They played in a dome at a balmy 80 degrees. They lost. The dome was gone, but the warm weather was not against the University of Idaho, upper 70s, as the Grizzlies went home beaten. Synopsis, these guys just don't play well in warm weather. Unfortunately for Marshall fans, it will not be warm tomorrow. As I mentioned, highs for tomorrow around game time, around 39 to 40 degrees. Of course, this trivia is fun to talk about, but it won't mean a thing come game time tomorrow. Dave and Keith.
Okay, thanks, Dave. We'll hold him to that, and we'll also bring him by tomorrow morning to talk about the game day forecast as we get much closer to game time. Plenty more on the way, Dave.
Yeah, plenty more, including we'll get the read on Montana coach Don Reed. What's his take on the national championship ball game?
I feel like we have a real solid team here. I feel like the team is ready to play, so we're anxious about the ball game.
We'll talk to Coach Reed when Mission Countdown continues.
Okay, welcome back, Dave. Make no mistake about it, this Montana team packs a powerful offense. They obliterated Stephen F. Austin.
It was a no-brainer. They racked up some 70 points over Stephen F. Austin last week, but the Grizzlies say they're not done clawing their way to the first national championship. We caught up with head coach Don Reed earlier this week. This is Big Sky country. High mountains, high elevations, and high-scoring games.
Down the middle, touchdown.
Scoring 70 points in the semifinal is pretty impressive, but if you want the Grizzly details, it really goes beyond that. They've outscored their opponent by an average of 25 points, while passing everyone as the second leading offense in the country. The Grizzlies master head coach Don Reed.
What you're seeing is really throw the football kind of style versus a kind of a very mixed, solid, fundamental style of football where the passing game in this area of the country and the running game blends together.
If you want to play the numbers game, remember the numbers 5, 57, 86, and 96. A front four that has the job of getting to Montana's Dave Dickinson. What happens when a Lion meets a Grizzly? Montana finds out tomorrow.